Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates. You all remember that Quantic Dream trailer we saw last year at the Game Awards, and it blew a lot of our minds on how good it looked, and we all got excited for this game, but we didn't really get too much details. Obviously, we all got a bit bummed to hear that David Cage was leading this game, considering all the allegations around Quantic Dream and his statements. And then on top of that, we also got to hear from insiders after that we might not see the game until 2024 or 2025 even. Well, it gets a lot worse than that, because according to a new report from Xfire and Tom Henderson, we might not get this game until 2027 or 2028. That's 6 years from now, and they've also worked on this game for 1 to 2 years, and that's what I wanted to cover in this video. So first of all, what is this whole game, in case you haven't followed all the news? Well, Star Wars Eclipse was announced and revealed in December last year during the Game Awards, but it was leaked before that, both with images and people claiming that there was going to be a Star Wars Eclipse game focused around the High Republic era, and all of that turned out to be true. They showed us a really good looking trailer of a High Republic game without actually revealing too much about what the game was going to be about, other than the fact that it was going to be action oriented. We were going to have multiple storylines with multiple playable characters like previous Quantic Dream games, but other than that we didn't get a whole lot of details, showing that they were pretty early in their development. But Tom Henderson, among other insiders, gave us more details around this game and what we could expect, and some of the initial details were quite worrying to say the least. And Tom Henderson and Xfire were actually some of the people who talked about this game before it was made public, so the report I'm gonna give you right now is from a very credible source, I'll tell you that much. So after the trailer, the report basically said that the game probably won't come out until 2024 or 2025, because it was very recently started into development, like a year ago roughly, and they had had a lot of struggles to actually hire people, because Quantic Dream has been under a lot of fire due to their very bad work environment and being led by David Cage, who has done some very questionable stuff in the past, who has made a lot of people boycott the game before it's even out. Personally, I go down the path of still wanting to see what this game is, but do whatever I can to also bring the attention to its horrible behavior, because I know there's still a lot of good developers working on this game who I think deserve to have their work seen. So from that we could piece together that this trailer was most likely released both to get interest from the public, but also to hire new developers, because it's a lot easier to tell someone, oh, look at this game we're making, do you want to work here, than just say vaguely, oh, we're working on this unannounced game about a franchise we can't really announce, do you want to come and work here? By the way, we have really bad work environment. You know what I mean? It's really hard to hire people with that premise. So to have this trailer out makes it a lot easier for them, or at least so they thought. Because this new report from Xfire and Tom actually says that the sources close to Quantic Dream have told him that although the trailer was released with extremely favorable reception from the wider gaming community, it has not had the desired effect of attracting developer talent to the studio. As a result, Star Wars Eclipse is likely going to be released around 2027 to 2028, which is, well, 6 years from now. So that's going to be like a 7 or 8 year development cycle, which is absolutely crazy. It just blows my mind thinking about the fact that I'll be over 30 by the time this game comes out. And sure, a long game development can be good, because it means you don't have to rush the game and you hopefully won't run into issues, but not if it is because you lack developers. That's not a good reason to have like a 7-year development cycle. It's better if you do it because you want to, well, put out an amazing game and you need that extra time to make sure it's polished properly. And Tom and Xfire actually did some good research here, showcasing that some of the evidence of this hiring process can actually be found online. Because in his previous tweets a couple of months ago with this initial report, he said that Quantic Dream had more than 60 job openings in France. But fast forward today, 3 months since the game's announcement, they actually have 67 jobs available in Paris, so that list hasn't gone down, it's actually gone up. And worst part of this is that they seem to also be manipulating the publish date on a lot of these job advertisements. So they basically make it look like these job announcements came out in February. However, by using the digital internet archive tool archive.org, they were able to verify that some of these positions of the exact same URLs with the same wording has been published in some cases for almost 2 2 years. And this includes some senior positions, which are some of the most important roles. And they've found dozens of these listings that haven't changed at all, showing that Quantic Dream are really having trouble hiring for this game. And I think that just shows how problematic Quantic Dream as a studio is right now, because honestly, this project with that trailer is probably something a lot of developers could only dream to work with. And I also know personally friends who work in the games industry who has told me how hard it is to actually get a job, especially if you're new in the industry, even if you have a pretty good portfolio. So that doesn't bode well for this game. But there were also rumors that the reason to why they put out this trailer is that they actually want to sell Quantic Dream to a whole other publisher after their deal with Sony ended. And honestly, I think that would probably be the best, because it seems like Quantic Dream do have some really good developers. I mean, they've put out some games that have been very successful, and now they have the Star Wars IP and a really cool project. They just have problems with their work environment and their leadership being very toxic. So if they were to replace that leadership and be bought out from another company, I just think that would be good for everyone, for us, the developers, and the future of the game. So hopefully that's something that's going to happen, especially now seeing how many publishers that are buying huge game companies. Quantic Dream is way smaller than buying like Activision, so I definitely see that happening in the coming years. I just hope that they will replace David Cage as soon as possible and actually be able to hire some good talent for this game, because it has a lot of potential, that's for sure. Anyways, this game is obviously many years out, so it's way too early to judge what we can expect from this game. All I can say is that the start for this game's development process seems to have been very rough, and they still seem to be in a pretty rough spot. Hopefully things will change fairly soon, whether they change out the leadership, they hire some good talent, or they get bought out by another company. There's a lot of things that can happen, so definitely don't feel like this game is doomed already, because otherwise they wouldn't have put out that trailer in the first place. And since they haven't given us a release date, I also think they don't have to rush out the game, which has been the problem with some previous Star Wars projects. Anyways, if you guys want to stay up to date with all things Star Wars gaming, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.